Hey everybody, I'm going to make a couple of holiday favorites. I'm going to make a rum cake and I'm going to make some sausage rolls. Sometimes I usually make them as appetizers, so in little biscuit size, but I am going to switch it up tonight and make it into an entree. So come along with me. So I am going to make the rum cake and get it in the oven. I've got the oven preheating to 325. Taking a yellow cake mix, sorry, mix in a small package of instant vanilla pudding. I'm going to put in 4 eggs. Here goes the eggshells. At least they're big pieces and not the little ones that escape you. And then the recipe that I saw uses a 1/2 cup of oil, but I'm going to substitute that with a 1/2 cup of melted butter. That I've left cooling on the side while I've been getting everything together. And then I'm also going to add a 1/2 cup, instead of the water, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of milk. I can tell where the 1/2 cup is. That kind of replaces some of the fat that was in the oil that comes because butter has some water in it. And then rum cake wouldn't be rum cake without the rum. I'm using a spiced rum. Some people use dark rum. I like the spiced rum. I make my own vanilla, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla and then a teaspoon of coconut extract. Super easy to make your own vanilla and way cheaper, especially if you've seen the prices of vanilla in the store. You just do a 750 milliliter of vodka and add your vanilla beans with a slit down the middle of them. Quite a few vanilla beans. milk, I think. And the coconut extract. Okay. We're gonna mix that up, and then I'm gonna spray my bump pan. I have this holiday bump pan that I bought, and I'm gonna spray it with this Baker's Joy. It's got the flour mixed in it, so it doesn't stick. I'm gonna mix this up for about 2 minutes, and I'll get back with you. So you wanna make sure that you really get all the nooks and crannies of your pan so it doesn't stick. Especially if you have one like this that has lots of little holes and crevices. And then this is going to go in the oven for about 45 minutes. So while this is baking, we're going to get started on our sausage rolls. So in the pan, I've got some onions and diced peppers, diced onions and diced peppers. Pretty much every recipe, isn't it, that I make starts out with diced onions and peppers. And then I have half a pound of regular sausage that I have left over from the biscuits and gravy I made the other day. I'm putting it in here. It usually is 1 pound of regular sausage, 1 pound of hot sausage, and 1 pound of ground beef. I'm putting this in there just because I had it left over and I don't have anything else to use it on. I don't want it to go bad. I'm going to get all this going in the pot and then just stir it and mix it until it's all browned and there's no pink. And then I'll come back and show you what I'm going to do after that. We're working on the glaze for the rum cake. So I've got butter going in there, and to that I'm going to add 1.5 cups of sugar. And 1/4 cup of water. It was 1.5 cups butter. I'm sorry. So I'm making the glaze for the rum cake, and I've got 3/4 cup of butter, the sugar, which is 1.5 cups of sugar, and then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of water. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And then you're going to keep stirring this, and you want to bring this to a boil. And once it starts boiling, we're going to boil it for about 4 to 5 minutes. And then after we do that, we are going to add a half a cup of rum to this. When you add the rum at the end, make sure you're very careful about it and make sure your pan's high enough that it's not going to boil over or do any harm to you, because it is alcohol. Still got the hamburger going, you can see it there, and the sausage for the sausage rolls. So it's just about time to add the rum to the butter and sugar mixture for the glaze. To my meat mixture, I'm adding 3 cans of Rotel tomatoes. And these Rotel and the meat mixture is going to cook another 30 minutes to get some of the liquid out of it. They used to sell the green chilies and tomatoes in bigger cans, but I could only find the small ones today. That's why I'm using 3. I usually use 2 of the 15-ounce cans, but all I could find was the small cans, so that's what we're going with. Got the glaze still going. Got the meat simmering, and this is just going to simmer for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to drain all of the excess liquid out of it, because you do not want any liquid in your meat mixture. So you want all that fat and the tomatoes water to be out of the mixture. So we'll drain it into a colander, into a pan, so it's all dry. So we'll catch you in a little bit. In case you wanted to see what a rolling boil looks like, this is a rolling boil. So when you stir it, the bubbles don't go away. And that's what you want for about 4 to 5 minutes while we cook this, and then we're going to add the rum to it. Here I have 3 frozen bread loaves that I've had thawing since I got off work, and this is what we're going to make the rolls out of. We're going to cut them into 4ths, and then we're going to roll them out into like tortillas and stuff them with the cheese and the meat. This is what the rum cake looked like after I took it out of the oven. I'm going to slice the bottom off to make it level. I just poured the rum in, and this is what the glaze looks like. I'm going to transfer it into another cup. Oh, you can smell that. It smells delicious. The butter and the rum. And what I'm going to do is we're going to poke holes in the bottom of the cake in a minute, and then we're going to drizzle some on the bottom and let it set for a little bit, and then we're going to turn it over and poke holes in the top and then drizzle some on the top. So here's what the cake looks like, and then I'm just going to take the rum glaze, I guess I should say butter and rum, and I'm just going to get that all soaked into the bottom. Let it go down into all those holes and nooks and crannies. What I did to the bottom of the cake is I took just a barbecue skewer. I'm just poking holes all over it to make sure that that glaze gets down in there and gets all through the cake, makes it delicious. And then I'm just taking my baster brush And just getting that all over here, and then it's gonna set for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna flip it over. And when I flip it over, then we're gonna poke holes in the top and do the same thing. So here's a quarter of one of those bread loaves. And what I'm gonna do is roll it out into like a tortilla. So about 10 inches. So good, maybe a large soft taco size or a burrito size almost. Small burrito. And once you get it about the size that you want, then you're gonna stuff it. And pretty much just like a burrito, it's gonna make little packets. Now, if I was making these for appetizers, I'd use little biscuits, roll those out about 5 inches, and then put the meat and cheese in there. I've had the meat draining in this colander, so it doesn't have all the juices and fat in it. And I'm just going to use my large cookie scoop. This is a mixture of mozzarella and Colby Jack. I bought the already shredded. You could shred your own and it'd be a little cheaper. This is just easy for tonight. But put a good handful of cheese in there. Take your cookie scoop. I'd put 3 scoops in there. That'd be a good dinner portion. And then you just fold it all up. Make sure to get it good and sealed so you don't have stuff going all over your pan. Then I'm just gonna stick it on a sprayed cookie sheet for about 20 minutes. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So we're putting the glaze on the top of the cake now. We poked holes in it just like we did the bottom, like 100 times, sides and top and middle. And Becca's just slowly gonna put that on there. And she's gonna wait a couple of minutes and put another layer and just keep doing that.